Hello and welcome to Third Eye TV Africa. My name is Joy Malik. We begin with the headlines. Matawale assures deacons capacity to meet military and security demands. NYSC charges core members in Zamfara to be security conscious. Nigerian high alerts as NCDC warns against travel to Ebola-affected nations. Now let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll bring you the news in detail.
For deeper analysis on security situation in Nigeria and beyond, watch Third Eye Africa TV.
Welcome back. Now the news in detail. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, has promised that the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, DICON, can meet the demands of the military and other security agencies. Matawale stated these at the DICON's end-of-year celebration and Naira's Productivity Award ceremony in Kaduna State at the weekend. He emphasized that the recent assent of the DICON Act 2023 by President Bola Tinubu had paved the way for the corporation to strengthen Nigeria's defense capabilities. Matawale said the Defense Ministry had given a lot of tasks to the DICON's Director General, adding that he was equal to the task. The minister promised that within a limited time, they would come to celebrate the full production of arms within the country. Now, the Director General of National Youth Service Corps, NYSC Brigadier General Yeshua Ahmed, has urged corps members serving in Zamfara State to be security conscious. The NYSC Director General also advised them to avoid unnecessary traveling during the one-year compulsory national service. General Ahmed made the call while addressing the 2024 Batch C Stream 2 corps members at the temporary rotation camp in the Zamfara State capital. He said the scheme was committed to corps members' safety and welfare, adding that the NYSC management had always been responsive to the welfare and security of corps members. General Ahmed said he was impressed with the peaceful condition of the camp as camp activities were going on smoothly. And in Anambra State, the Anambra State government in southeast Nigeria has mandated all hotel operators and landlords in the state to start documentation and records of their clients and tenants. In a statement at the weekend, the State Commissioner for Information, Law Mefor, said the state government introduced new security measures to enhance the safety and security of citizens and visitors in the state. Mefor added that directives were aimed at strengthening the state's security architecture and promoting a secure environment for all. The directives for hotel owners entails that all hotel guests must provide a valid government-issued national identity card, international passport, or voter's card to the hotel management. According to the state government also encouraged members of the public to report any suspicious activities or kidnappings to the authorities, adding that a reward of 5 million naira and above will be given to those who provide valuable information. The commissioner said the directives aimed at promoting a safe and secure environment in Anambra State, urging all citizens and stakeholders to cooperate and support the initiatives. Now, an Ibadan-based lawyer, Abiodun Amole, has said that the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, or any of his officers lack the power to enforce third-party insurance in the country. It will be recalled that the Inspector General of Police had earlier ordered his men to enforce third-party insurance throughout Nigeria, but Amole, speaking with journalists in Ibadan, described the action of the police as illegal and unconstitutional. The legal practitioner said that the Police Act is the extant law which strictly regulates the operations and powers of the Nigerian police in Nigeria. According to him, an insurance policy is essentially a contract between the insurer and the issued party, adding that it is not the duty of the police to enforce a contract or agreement between parties. Now, the governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawa, has reaffirmed the validity of the decision of governors of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to support one of the contestants to the position of National Secretary of the party, Sunday Ude Okoye, emphasizing that the party will emerge stronger from its ongoing crisis. Lawa noted that the PDP must learn from past mistakes, adding that the recent governors' meeting in Delta State demonstrated the party's commitment to regaining its footing and leading Nigeria effectively. The PDP governors had declared their support for Ude Okoye based on the decision of the judgment of the Court of Appeal Enugu Division. But Senator Samuel Anyanwu, who is also contesting the position, said he is in possession of a stay of execution order from an Abuja appeal court and had appealed the judgment to the Supreme Court. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention and CDC has heightened surveillance at points of entry following the reported outbreak of the Ebola virus disease EVD caused by the Sudan species in Mbale district. In the statement, NCDC said it is working in collaboration with relevant ministries, departments, and agencies through the National Emerging Viral Hemorrhagic Diseases (EVHD) Technical Working Group. Additionally, the center said it had optimized diagnostic capacities for EVD testing its designated laboratories in cities with international airports of entry and the National Reference Laboratory. It noted also that all Lassa fever testing laboratories can be activated to scale up testing if the need arises. The Uganda Ministry of Health confirmed an outbreak of Ebola virus disease caused by the Sudan species on January 30, 2025. In an Ebola virus disease emergency contingency plan released on Sunday, NCDC stated that there are no cases of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria, adding that based on the dynamic risk assessment conducted in response to the recent Marburg outbreak in Rwanda, the risk of EVD is also classified as moderate. Now let's go on a quick break and then return. Newspaper and press review continues. So stay tuned.
Deeper analysis on security situation in Nigeria and beyond, watch Third Eye Africa TV.
Welcome back. Well, in the Daily Trust newspaper, we have 30 dead, 2 injured in Ondo auto crash. You find that in page 7. And in page 6, you see NLC nationwide strike against Delco's tariff hike and error. Oil marketers now loading petrol from Port Harcourt, Warri refineries. You find that in page 23 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Federal government plans fresh electricity tariff hike. You also find that in page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And in the Blueprint newspaper, Americans may feel pain from tariffs, but will be worth the price. Trump speaking. You find that in page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. And still 30 dying on the auto crash. That's in page 13 of the Blueprint newspaper. And in Leadership newspaper, you find 16 rescued from traffickers in Kaduna State. Today in the studio, we have Mr. Ben Shamang and Mr. Udo Itefia. Welcome, sirs.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Well, with the recent rescue of 16 victims of human trafficking and kidnapping in Kaduna State, it is clear that the Nigerian police force is taking significant steps to combat these crimes. Now, considering the complexities of human trafficking, what role do you think community and community-based initiatives and public awareness campaigns can play in preventing trafficking and supporting victims, especially in light of the government's efforts to strengthen national security?
Well, I think the community has a lot to do to stem the tide of this rising criminal activity in the country. And thankfully, some state governments have initiated moves. Just got to know that Anambra State, for instance, have issued an order that hotels and even landlords should take precautionary measures to ensure and know the guests that comes to them, the tenants that they admit into their houses. Know who you are admitting to your house. Know who comes to your hotel to lodge. And from what we know from this Anambra directive, that hoteliers should get the proper identity, national identity, international passport of these guests, and know, because these are people that go into the hotel, and sometimes you find out that they use fake names to register themselves in the hotel. And after some days of staying there, you get to know that they've committed atrocity, and they will just disappear without a trace of where they are. So community, same with the landlords that admit people into their, people just move into a place, you have to know where are they coming from and what is their background. That will help, because if you get to know, if a criminal get to know that these things will be checked and proper documentation will be made, they would think twice before they begin to commit crime. And I think that the government also should do more in making sure that those who have been arrested, like in the instant case of Kaduna, those who have been arrested, going to, because you get to know in this case of Kaduna that even the wife of the person, the ringleader of this trafficking, those trafficking the people, the wife did not know the kind of business he was doing. So government has to, immigration has to, because foreigners come into the country with the sole purpose of committing crime and disappearing because our borders are porous. So the government has to strengthen our borders. Immigration has to wake up and make sure that you check those who are coming into the country. The laws are there. We shouldn't just allow people to walk in. Look at what is happening in the US. Even the US is checking immigration, checking those who are there. They want to make sure that those who are in the United States are staying legally. So Nigeria cannot just allow its borders to be open, all sorts of people to come in and commit crime and disappear.
Okay. Mr. Ben, human trafficking has been on the rise in Nigeria, if you've been listening to the news recently. But what strategic measures should be put in place to checkmate this and fight and curb these human traffickers from exploiting Nigerians and taking advantage of vulnerable Nigerians and young people?
Yeah, what are the things to be done to check this? Of course, the government has a part, and individuals do have their own parts too. For the individuals, don't just believe because of poverty you're going to release your children to someone who is claiming to be making it in the city. You find these people coming with videos in some big hotels, believing that this is where these children will be walking. You find them posing in front of very magnificent buildings. They just say, this is my house, I've made it in the city, and for that reason they are able to lure, kind of attract the parents, the poor parents, who because of this same poverty will release their children. Then there are also others who are just being deceived. Release your child, but let there be that agreement.
Yes.
You don't reveal their identity. A native doctor is involved. You find some ritual has been done. You have to give part of your hair, so that if you break the law, you're going to be mad over there. So you take all of that and go. So parents should just know that they are being deceived.
Yeah.
And there has to also be awareness, churches and mosques, so that you don't just see anybody coming. As it is said, it's not all that glitters that is gold. It's not every sweet-mouthed word that is being poured onto you that you just believe. And that's why many of them who get trafficked, the end before they get to Libya, pass to reach Italy or Spain. It's always a harrowing experience. No water, no food. And when you do pass through the desert, some people die along the desert because of hydration issues. No water at all, no food, And so people will have to take precaution. Now, what should people do? I mean, what should the authorities do? ECOWAS has a department that is working against this human trafficking.
Yes.
So all countries now of ECOWAS will have to work together to ensure that this modern day slavery does not continue. Now you have Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. These are all trafficking routes. You have to pass through them. Now they are forming their own kind of a confederation, a kind of. So for some Nigerians to pass through, it's not going to be easy for them. So maybe that could be a plus. Then the next thing is for United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes. They also help in terms of migration. Then you also have the International Office of Migration, IMO. They also help in terms of checking who is going out legally or illegally. These are laid down things by the authorities. Then back home in Nigeria and many other countries, they have domesticated what is obtainable at the United Nations level, at United African Union level, at regional level. So that's why Nigeria has the NAPTIP, National Agency for the Traffication against persons. So they make arrests, they make some prosecution, and they also make sure that culprits go to jail. And in terms of the innocent souls, there are holding facilities where when you get them, you teach them some trades and release them. Sometimes they even give them startup funds to go start something so that they don't become vulnerable. So in all, community has something to do. Religious leaders, traditional rulers, they all have some things to do. Then the laws that are available actually check some of these things.
Okay, so do we have agencies for trafficked kids when they return? Do we just send them back home, or we have a place where they can go for therapy and then educate them about these things?
I think NAPTIP, a government agency.
But sorry, but if you've been going through the news, you will see that when these children are rescued, they say they send them back to their parents. Is that supposed to be done, or they are supposed to send them to a place where they should seek help and get help?
It's true that government ought to take them to a place where they are supposed to be, their health supposed to be checked, their mental, are they still what they were before they were taken out? Mm-hmm. And you check their health, check their mental ability, check, even their psychology. So things have gone wrong. So do all this and see what really was responsible for the parent to allow children to be taken out. She said, poverty. Now you are sending them back to the parents. Are they going to be able to take care of them? Are they going to be able to send them to school? If it is because of poverty that the parents allowed them to be taken by somebody who obviously was taking them out for some forced labor, slavery, or some other criminal activities. So government has the responsibility to ensure that these children are put in school. And government should be responsible. Government should see to their training, either in formal education, professional education, so that they can come out and become something. That memory of what they've gone through, government can help to wipe it and make them to start a life that is meaningful. So I don't think it's good to link them back to the parents, but government has to look into the condition that made the parent to release them to somebody that perhaps they didn't even know. But just because they promised them greener pasture out there, you allow your child to be taken out, and later you see that it's the children or your child is brought back in a condition that you never imagined.
Okay, thank you. Moving over, with the recent kidnapping of corps members in Nigeria, most corps members that are sent to various states to serve are no longer safe. What do you think what are the key measures that should be put in place to curb this menace?
Yeah, you see, I don't know the statistics you have when you say must. In other words, if you have 25,000 co-members, maybe around 20 facing this kind of a thing. But you see, if you're talking of security is everyone's concern. First of all, you yourself as a copper. I see many of them, you take the risk, you want to go to hotel, and that is already, you are surrendering yourself to uncertainties. Some travel just anyhow, does not matter the period which they travel, in the day, in the night, and all that stuff. Even on safe areas, you just see that some of them take the risk, so that's on the side of the copper. Now, if you are posted to a place, your place of primary assignment is for that agency to also have some kind of control over the co-member. You see, you holding that child, that student, that young person, and trust the Ministry of Youth send him to you. Let's put it this way, that the presidency send you to the ministry posted you to a place of primary assignment, so you are a child of the federal government. And so that does not mean you can just move the way you feel like. You bear in mind that there is insecurity, so that you don't become vulnerable. However, again, the security agencies must always try to be on top of their game, protect everyone, protect every copper, so that people feel safe. Let it be that the way and manner in which NYC came on board, you see, after the Civil War, General Gowon felt that, look, why don't we create, in terms of integration, why don't we create an activity, an agency, a program like the National Youth Service Corps, where youth will be taken from north, you go to the south, east, you go to the west, you go to the southeast, in that order, so that you begin to know Nigeria, you begin to love Nigeria. Some get married there. And I will pay tribute to Emmanuel Udom, the immediate past governor of Akwa Ibom, who is advocating that the way coppers are being posted, as soon as they are ending, every local government should return at least 1 or 2 copper continuously that way. And in doing so, there's going to be integration, because those people will live there, they will marry there, they stay there. Before you know it, everyone claims Nigeria to be theirs. But when you are brought from a different state, you finish and return, it's not the best.
Yes, you see, the National Youth Service outfit as introduced initially by Yakubu, something that was cherished by everybody. Find out that these young people will go into to communities and they will accept it. They will, in some places they don't even, if a youth copper on his or her outfit bought a vehicle, you say, okay, because you're a youth copper, don't pay. So that's how they were being protected. And they can travel anytime. Once you're a youth copper, you see that everybody is taking care of you. But times have changed. You find insecurity in the country. And that's why you have some of these cases that we talked about. The youth copper travel maybe from the south to the north, and perhaps that is his first time of traveling. And before you know it, you get to hear that he has been kidnapped. And that is why the Director General of NYC, National Youth Service Corps, is cautioning them the time of traveling. Even when you are traveling to go and to go to camp, choose a time that you think you will get there early enough, not a time that try to cut off the fuel along the road. So everybody has to be security conscious at this time. And youth service, is an ideal thing. And everybody, they shouldn't allow it because people have been calling, scrap this, it's like this. Don't allow it and let people be serving instead in places that they are familiar with. That wasn't the original concept. The original concept, as he has said, was for people from the south to get to know themselves, to get to know people in the north, and then there will be some integration. I know politicians have messed up the whole things about national integration. I think this youth, our youth, they have the duty to see to the fact that Nigeria work together, Nigeria integrate themselves, Nigeria moved along together, and youth service is the vehicle to which this can be achieved.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Odo and Mr. Ben, for joining us today. And that's all on newspaper and press review. To stay tuned for the next update.